Well, a very good morning to you. Oh no. Oh, gosh. Why? Okay, whatever. Well, I'll address that later. I wanted to show you. First of all, it's Friday. I hope you're all right. At least we made it to the end of the week, right? Ugh. Here's my experiment. Another part of my experiment. So remember how I told you last year that I used the silica powder and that it was really bad for my lungs? And I even wear, where is it? I even wear one of these when I was working with the stuff. It didn't matter. It just, like, I coughed and coughed. So my husband had the idea of getting the silica gel packets, the same kinds that like come in our shoe boxes and in our purses and stuff. And he's like, why don't you do that and put those in with your flowers and see? So here's what I've done. I did cornflower heads and a little bit of the flux coxcomb, but not much, in a Ziploc bag. Now, initially when I did this, I noticed condensation in the bag right away. So I was like, oh no, is the silica like not doing its job? But now I come over here and I see that like things actually look pretty good. There's a little air in here. Okay, I'm gonna go get some gloves. Hold on. All right. So also important to note that I do have a fan and a HEPA filter in here, so I'm really like doing my best to protect. God, I'm already getting emails. It's 8 in the morning, please. Okay. So let's check on me. Here's some of my herbs, and like I said yesterday, I'm glad you guys told me to bring these in. I do need to get them hanged up. Hanged up? I do need to get them hung up. Okay. Let's check on these and see how they're doing. It did say on the package, like, not to sniff the silica packets, and I'm thinking, like, who is sitting there, like, you know, anyways, okay. All right. Here's a cornflower head. Now, for those of you who are familiar with this flower, you know that the petals are already, like, naturally sort of dry and scratchy sounding, but they can be very deceiving because the center of this flower is very, very thick. So to me, this still feels moist. Now, apparently also, I'll show you where's the bag? This is the one that I got. And it says, reactivation notice, or reactivation, okay. So you can either put it in 200 to 250 degrees in a toaster oven for half an hour or 2 hours, 5 to 10 minutes in, is that a microwave? I guess. Yeah. Okay, on the defrost setting. I don't know how to do that. Or you can put them out for 1 to 2 days in the sun. I might do that. I don't really want the chemicals in my house. But these still feel moist to me. Now, are these full? I guess I do need to reset these. Let's check on the zinnias. Let's see what's going on with them. How are you doing, by the way? How was your week? Please do tell me. Leave a comment. Make sure you are following along. I am like the anti-influencer. I made a video about this the other day, but I'm not going to get on here and talk to you and be like, I thought today would be a perfect time to check on my flowers. I went out and I got a container and I filled it up with the heads of my favorite flowers, and I also, I'm not going to talk to you like that because you're not dumb. All right, let's check on the zinnias. Now, this is one of those like airtight containers. I got this at the Costco a few years ago. Let's see what's going on in here. Now, again, same thing with this. When I first did it, there was a lot of condensation inside, and I thought, oh my God, silica packets, please. But it also is important to note that this was chock-a-block full by the time I sealed it. So, actually, the zinnias, still damp, still moist. I don't know if you can tell just by me squeezing it. Still damp, still moist. So they definitely need more time in here. What I'm noticing also right off the bat is the color actually isn't bad. You know, and that was my concern, was that when you use the silica gel, the color is preserved so perfectly. But for this, there's a slight darkening, but it's not anything like crazy. Now, the reason why I like to, I'm just gonna like give it a little top. You know what I'll do? I've got a few more. I'll put a few more. We'll just finish up the bag. I'll put a few more in each container. And by a few, I mean a handful. And I think what I'll do, I gotta check the weather forecast because it has been very, very rainy this summer here on the coast of New England. So, okay, squeeze the air out. And then give it like a toss. There we go. I guess we'll just toss this around. The reason why I am hell-bent on using the full flower is because of the way that I create my art. I'm looking around trying to find an example. I'm like sold out. I went to check on my stock, my inventory at some of my retail partners, and I was like, where is everything? Which is a good thing. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, I gotta get to work. Okay. Let me show you. All right, so these are some of my magic potions. And this is why I like to use the full flower. Cause I mean, talk about texture, right? Texture, personality. I just want to make sure that I'm keeping things as close to their natural form as possible so that they're recognizable and people can see like, oh my gosh, I used to grow zinnias when I was a kid, or oh, look at the beautiful fern. It reminds me of this gorgeous place in the middle of the woods that no one else knows about. Like that's the whole point. Now I can, if I want to, this is my favorite fairy house. I can, if I want to, just use the petals, and I don't have an example because I was my office. Well, you saw my desk. But that's why I want to keep them whole. So if you have ever tried this method, please let me know. I would love to know that there's someone else out there that's trying this. The rest of these are going to get hung up upside down, so they'll be just like the ones here on my wall, and then I still have the ones out in the vase, so, you know, whatever. Today is actually going to be pretty busy, so I'll probably be able to check in with you guys again this afternoon, and maybe I'll go live for a little bit and we can finish up these dang bookmarks. Here, you know, my fairies in the forest bookmarks, and I was like, oh, that'll be like a nice quick project. Nothing I do is quick, but I have been able to get all of these done. But of course, I have, 3 retail partners, and I have a lot of collectors that shop online, so this isn't gonna cut it. We need to make this times 10. Anyways, we will catch up later. I hope you have a great start to your day. Take a moment, enjoy your coffee, enjoy your tea, your mindfulness, everything. Get ready for the day, and we'll catch up later. Thanks for being here. Bye.